been taught to look to the government. We've been taught to look for social organizations. We've been taught to look for nonprofit organizations and even the church to care for us. And when you're taught that constantly, then you have a problem accepting responsibility for everything that you are. I like to tell people about my belief system, right? See, there's three things that I believe about me. One thing I believe about me is that I'm a God under the Most High God.
Yes, sir.
The second thing that I believe about me is that I can do all things. The third thing I believe about me is that everything the sun touches belongs to me. So if you break down that first one, I'm a God under the Most High God. What that simply means is I am fully responsible for creating my world. If my world is upside down, I did that.
Yes,
if it's going to get flipped right side up, guess who's going to have to do it? I'm going to have to do it. See, we are co-creators with God. God created all of the world, and then we co-created our personal world with some of his help and some of his tools, but he gave us free will, so we decide what we want in and what we don't want in our world. So we have to take responsibility for that, right? And
yes, sir.
The second thing, if you break that down, I can do all things. That means I can turn a negative situation to a positive situation. That means if I don't like the direction that my life is headed, I can make a U-turn. I can do an about face, or I can turn left, or I can turn right. I have control in the things that is creating my world on a day-to-day basis. And then it's just biblical that God created this whole thing for me. He created the sun so that I can have heat. He created the earth so that I can have the resources that I need to build a home and feed myself and clothe myself. So everything on this planet was created for humankind. So you have to believe that. And if everything was created in abundance, then why are black people so proud to be in a state of lack?
Man,
I can't get that for the life of me, and I don't subscribe to taking a vow of poverty in the name of being humble.
Nah, man.
There's a lot of wealthy patriarchs and matriarchs in the Bible that were humble, but they were also extremely wealthy, right? You talk about King Solomon being the richest man on the planet at one given point in time, right? And those who don't want to work to build wealth and sit back and wait on their blessings in heaven, that's fine if that's you, but don't rationalize that you're completely comfortable and you're okay with that. Just say you're too lazy to do anything to change your financial situation, and you're going to wait for the hereafter. I would respect you a little bit more. But you tell me that, the Bible says that a rich man will not enter the kingdom of heaven. It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, and you quote these scriptures, but you're not thinking when you're quoting them, because if you're saying that, then you're basically saying that King Solomon is not in heaven. You're saying that King David didn't make it to heaven. You're saying that Abraham didn't make it to heaven. You're saying that the Queen of Sheba didn't make it. All of these were wealthy people and righteous people according to the Bible. So you're telling me they didn't make it to heaven? So you just have to understand how to use proper context and understand that the same Bible that says the love of money is the root of all evil also says money answers all things, but you have to put them in proper context, right? You have to understand that there is nothing wrong with having an abundance of resources. The Bible tells us that our cup can run it over. We can have blessings that will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over, meaning an abundance more than what we need. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, when you take that more than enough and you take the attitude that you have this materialistic view that these things become higher on your priority list than God, that's when you have a problem.
That's your problem. Yep. That's when your problem comes into play. I think a lot of times the scriptures get quoted out of context, without really people looking at the beginning and the ending of it. Why was that said? The history behind that being said, So, I mean, again, it's so much, man, that they say so much confusion going out here. And that's why, again, I say it again, though, man, those that are choosing to teach and guide and educate, shout out, keep on pushing, man, because I know for a fact myself, it's not easy. It is not easy just to care, because especially when you get hit with those roadblocks for the people that are going through some of the same stuff you going through, right? I had a show before about this, can we give each other a break? We get mess out there for everybody else and every other race and every other culture. Can we give ourselves a break from ourselves, right? When we come together, we ought to be talking about solutions.
Yeah. There's nothing that it seems like there's nothing that we seem to do more than tear each other down sometimes. And,
I hate that.
And when reality is this, man, I can take my light from my candle and light your candle, and it doesn't take away from my light, right?
Still lit.
I can allow you to shine, and if we're both shining in the same place, it just makes that place brighter, right? Yeah. I don't have to cast a shadow on your light just so my light can shine. And I think we have to start to understand that fundamentally. And when we get to that place, we'll start to bring more and more people together and allow our lights to shine in the same place. And that just makes that place that much brighter.
Well, you're evidence of that tonight by being on my show. I don't have a fraction of the following that you do have, and you decided to respond to me when I reached out to you, and I appreciate that, because you did not have to. You could have, could have not even responded, because I reached out to people before and hadn't got any responses. And so, and you could have said, I'm a busy man. I don't have time for this stuff, man. You look at my stuff, I always think about a radio, So again, I commend you for that. So you're not just talking about it, you actually living it, and it's in action. And I can tell by having a conversation with you, by watching your videos, by just seeing it, sometimes you can just feel the energy that a person has, and if they're full of it, or if they're full of it. Right. And I appreciate you, man, for being that, though, man, because nothing about what you said, what you've done, how you're doing is veering away from your brand, man. And it's 100% is solid, And so, again, you don't have to do that, man. And I always give people their flowers while they can smell them. I'm a huge proponent of that, because tell people thank you, because, again, when people do what they don't have to do, that's worth a thank you, man. And I just can't thank God enough for, your mission, your goal, and your heart, for the community, even with these challenges that we discussed. You still persevere, you still move forward. You're not deterred or detained, because you realize there's a bigger goal, and your vision is great, man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you for reaching out and allowing me to be on your platform, man. And this is how we grow and we build it and we do things together, man. This time last year, as I was building my following, I remember I reached out to the Black CEO, Mr. Trevor Ott, shaking in my boots to even ask him to come be on my platform. And he said, sure, no problem. And he did it. And, so I feel that it is my duty to help anybody who is trying to establish their brand, who's trying to connect with our people and bring light, encouragement, and knowledge to those people. I don't care if you got 2 followers or 200,000 followers. The name of the game is that we've got to be there for one another, support each other, so that we can lift one another up. And especially in this area of media where we don't own very much, anybody is doing anything in the area of media to try to reach and communicate positivity to our community needs to be commended. So I commend you as well, my brother, for all the things that you're doing and the positive shows and images and information that you're putting out on the airwaves and creating positive vibrations from your platform. And it's only going to get better, brother. So anything that I can do to help you grow your platform, don't hesitate to reach out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. We connected now, man. Again, I'm definitely going to be doing business with you. We definitely going to be talking about some things that I have in my mind and some information that I need to get from you to help me kind of gauge some things, because I know sometimes I can just try to spread out too much and then not be affected. As you said earlier, my tens, make sure I get my tens right, so I have to be able to get that, but I'm willing to have the conversation with those that's been there, done that, if you will, and able to give me the direction, man. And I just really appreciate, again, your willingness for that, man. Anything else, man, any high points you want to leave with the people, man, before we get out of here, man, because I do want to be respectful of your time.
I would just say this, man, that it's okay for you to aspire to have greater. It's okay for you to have aspirations of prosperity. Nobody wants to go to their faucet in their kitchen and turn on the water and have it drip out one drop at a time, right? We don't look at water as a resource because it's just in abundance everywhere. Well, what if all of the resources in your life was in abundance in that same manner, right? You turn on a faucet for joy, and you just have more than enough joy that flows out of your faucet. You turn on your faucet of creativity, and you just have more than enough creativity to create whatever you want. You turn on your faucet of imagination. You turn on your faucet of relationships that are good and healthy and positive, and you got just more of that pouring into your life, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what wealth to me is. It's not just about the resource of money, but all of the positive resources in abundance, overflowing, so when your cup runneth over, you can take the excess and let that spill into the community, and we can start building a community. So the Black Wealth Movement is all about helping individual families put out the fires in their houses so that we can collectively come together and put out the major fires in the community. You know, you start talking about things like the school-to-prison pipeline. You start talking about things about mass incarceration, the prison industrial complex that is attacking our black men and now are starting to attack our black women. You start talking about the need for our own schools and things of that nature. Well, guess what? Somebody has got to be in a position to write a check for that stuff, right? You can talk about it all you want to, and you can ask the government who's putting things in place against you to give you money to fund your liberation, and guess what? That's not going to happen. So you have to create your own wealth so you can fund your own liberation, and that's what the Black Wealth Movement is all about. So again, they can text me, Think About It Radio. If they text Think About It Radio, I'll know they heard it from you. Text Think About It Radio to 314-874-6887, and I'll send you a short video that explains what the Black Wealth Movement is all about. And if you see an opportunity for yourself to join us, we'd certainly be welcome to have you. And then we'll get you started and get you registered and help you start building your personal financial empire, as early as today. And again, we will make provisions for you to get started today for just $9.95. Just like that.
Just like that. Mr. Cortez, man, I cannot thank you enough for what all you're doing out here, man. Nothing but success is going to follow you, my brother. Listeners, you guys check out that site, get that information, shoot them the text, get started on your business, get your financial education weighed up. Can you dig it? This has been another great Motivation Monday. Sheldon J, Think About It Radio. Hit me up, thinkaboutitradio@yahoo.com, at think_radio on Twitter, Think Radio on Instagram, and as always, be good to yourself and be good to somebody. Check out that information. Get started today. Can you dig it? Much love to everybody. Thank you guys for everything. Mr. Cortez, once again, God bless you, my brother, and thank you for your time.
Bless you too, man. Thanks for having me.
No, it's no problem, man. You guys have a great night. Be good to yourself and be good to somebody. Peace.